What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. The day has finally arrived. This might be one of the most highly anticipated Jordans of 2020 so far, and it's not super hyped up. However, it is a lot more hyped up than I think a lot of people anticipated that it would be. Without further ado, let's take a look at the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 3 in Vapor Blue and Tech Gray, otherwise known as the UNC 2020. All right, guys, first things first, this sneaker here, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I really was debating getting this sneaker in early to show it to you guys. I really wanted to get them in early, but I decided to hold off on that so that I could give you guys another early look at something else and wait for these to actually come out. And I'm glad that I did, because now that I see what's happened after the sneaker came out, that's what I want to talk to you guys about today after we take a little closer look at the shoe. All right, guys, now starting with the upper here, if you guys are at all familiar with the actual University of North Carolina Tar Heels basketball player edition of this sneaker, you notice that it looks exactly like the shoe with a few very subtle differences. Now you have the all white upper, just like the UNC PE version, all white tumbled leather, really nice both on the quarter panels of the shoe and on the mud guards going around the upper of the shoe as well. Really nice leather, very nice quality. Now, just like the UNC PE version, you have these Carolina blue eyelets where the laces go through, really nice. You also have that dark blue top eyelet as well. That classic elephant print on the lateral and medial side going around the toe box of the shoe as well. That signature UNC Carolina blue going around the back half of the midsole of the sneaker, wrapping all the way around the sneaker from the lateral to the medial side, just like the player edition. On the heel of the shoe, just like the UNC player edition, again, you have the dark blue Jumpman with the air underneath it. On the outsole of the shoe, you may notice a very small difference from the UNC player edition. In the midfoot here, kind of towards the back, you'll notice that it's dark blue with a white Jordan logo, whereas on the player edition, it's actually a white background with a dark blue Jordan logo. So subtle difference. But on the front of the foot, you actually have the Carolina blue forefront pod, and that's the exact same as the UNC player edition as well. Let's talk about the tongue of the shoe. Now you get this really big stitched blue Jumpman that replaces the stitched UNC logo on the player edition. The only thing I'm not really feeling about the Jumpman is the fact that it's so big and thick. I don't know why they got Jordan looking like this on the front of the shoe, but between the back of the shoe and the front of the shoe, it's like a before and after picture. It's like this is Michael Jordan when he was in the NBA, and this is like retirement Michael Jordan. He's like real big and thick. I don't know why they got him looking like this. Here's the funny part. These are a pair of Jordan 3s. We got no hang tag with it, no extra laces with it, and everybody still ponied up that $190 today to get a pair. They were that popular. Let's get into the back of the tongues here. Normally there's the upside down Air Jordan tag, but not here. Here it says heart on the right shoe, and it says soul on the left shoe, heart and soul. And I thought that was a really dope touch, even though on the UNC player edition, there's a white tag on the back of the tongue. It says, I think, basketball and something else on the other tongue. I don't remember what it says, but it's cool that they actually swapped the Air Jordan with something else, even in this regular version of the sneaker as well. Now, here's the most interesting part of this sneaker to me, actually. This is a Team Jordan. So on the insole of the sneaker, you actually have the Team Jordan tag, similar to what we saw with those Michigan-inspired 5s that came out a little while ago with the reflective tongue. Now, the reason why that's really dope to me is because as a Team Jordan, this sneaker will qualify for bulk pricing for basketball teams all around the country. So you take away all the UNC branding and all the college branding and everything, and you can actually make this sneaker your Team Jordan for any basketball team, high school, college, whatever, and get really good pricing in bulk on these sneakers. So I can definitely see a lot of hoopers wearing this shoe on the court really soon. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this shoe. It's a super simple colorway, but it's a really clean colorway, just in time for tax time or whatever else you guys may have going on, and it really looks nice. Of course, people wanted to snatch these up that were never able to afford the actual player edition UNCs, just in case you didn't have $5,000 laying around somewhere to be able to buy a pair of those. You can definitely pick these up for a lot cheaper. Now, here's the interesting thing about the way that this release went down, and this is a lesson that I want to make sure that you guys understand today. A lot of people thought that this sneaker was going to be very easy to get. I think a lot of people slept on this shoe today. They were not up early in the morning to be ready on the sneakers app and everywhere else that they wanted to get the shoe, and they thought that they'd be able to sleep in a little bit and this would be sitting on the shelves. Not the case. Guys, I need you guys to understand and keep an ear to the streets, right? That when a sneaker has this much hype around it, a lot of people are excited about it, and honestly, this sneaker was a little bit limited as well, that a lot of people are going to be wanting to buy them up as soon as they drop. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a pro tip, maybe one or two today, to make sure that you guys can get your hands on these sneakers that you want, because I noticed that as soon as these sneakers came out and they sold out on Sneakers and all the other websites that they dropped at, the prices immediately started going up on GOAT, StockX, and all those other marketplaces. What that tells me is that the demand far outweighed the supply today on the sneaker. And again, I think that's because a lot of people thought they were going to be able to get their hands on a pair that weren't. Number one pro tip for you guys trying to get sneakers like this: if you see a sneaker coming out and people are already talking about it, and this sneaker is not coming out in grade school sizes, it's a men's exclusive, you might want to make sure that you don't sleep on it, because that tells you that quantities are going to be limited. If Jordan Brand does a family run in a sneaker, men's grade school all the way down, even if it's just men's in grade school, there's going to be more pairs of that sneaker because Jordan Brand is willing to invest in that many pairs and that many size classes. But when you see a super clean sneaker like this and they're saying it's men's only, that lets you know that this sneaker is going to be pretty limited. And when I say limited, I mean limited. I got these sneakers from City Gear, and that City Gear had 11 pairs total. It was very, very difficult to get this shoe, especially at a local level. So that's pro tip number one. If it's a men's shoe only with no grade school, you might want to get your hands on a pair if you're trying to get them. Pro tip number two: if you missed out on the shoe, in my opinion, the best time to buy a shoe on the secondary market is immediately after the shoe dropped, or if you wait 3, 4, maybe 5 days, maybe even a week to buy the shoe. And here's why. I'm gonna give you guys some game today. A lot of resellers go out and they buy these sneakers up, and what they do is they spend their very last dollars. Some of them are gambling their bill money, they rent money, they child support money, whatever the case is, to buy up a pair of these sneakers to try to make a little bit of money off of them. But the problem with that is that they spent up all their money and they need their money back as fast as possible. So they do what's called panic selling. Panic selling basically means as soon as they pick up the shoe, the moment that somebody offers them $20 over retail price, they'll go ahead and take it because they need their money back as fast as possible. So that's why I say as soon as the sneaker drops, before the prices go up way, way too high, you might want to go ahead, sneak in there and grab yourself a pair, because I saw pairs starting to rise up probably around 200 to 220, somewhere like that. But about a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours after the sneakers dropped, they started rising up around 260, 270, upwards of $300. Now, you also got to remember that you're also competing with other resellers on StockX and GOAT as well that are buying and flipping and buying and selling on there. So you also got to make sure that you sneak in there if you want to get a personal pair for yourself, to make sure you get the best deal that you can. A lot of other resellers that have the ability to hold shoes for a long period of time, they're buying up sneakers for those lower prices so that they can hold them for a super long time, and then they can sell them to you a year from now for $300 to $400 because you're going to want a pair at that point that's brand new. So that's my advice to you guys. If you guys want to get your hands on a pair, if you took the L today, give it a few days, let the market cool off a little bit, and then go and see if you can work a deal with somebody to try to get these shoes as close to retail as possible. I'll be honest with you guys, if you didn't get them for retail, you're probably not going to get them for retail price because they're just that popular. The market is going to settle probably around $275-ish to $300-ish on this shoe. You're going to have to pony up a little extra money, but in my opinion, is the sneaker worth it? Absolutely. It's a great looking sneaker, super clean. But that's pretty much all that I got for these today. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about the Air Jordan 3 UNC 2020. Are these ones that you guys added to your arsenal? Were you able to pick up a pair online? Were you able to pick up a pair locally? Or are you going to have to pay the resale price? Or are you willing to pay the resale price? Let me know why or why not down below. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so that we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family, to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat like this, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 3 UNC 2020, and until next time, I'm out.